So the problem with this door is it's not staying closed. What's happened here is the latch is too low and the bottom edge of the latch is just riding along the strike plate here at the bottom, and it's not inserting, keeping the door closed, which is very annoying. So I'm going to show you a super easy way to fix this with minimal tools. There will be no repair to the jamb whatsoever. This is a technique I've literally used hundreds of times. And for this particular door, if you close the door and you take a look at it, you can see that there's a big gap on the top hinge. It's not quite rubbing on the top of the frame, but it's close. If you did tweak this door back over, that would lift the latch up and the door would probably close. And that would also help you if you have a door rubbing on the top of the frame. If that's your case, I'll put a link at the end of this video for a video that I made a couple weeks ago now about just that problem and how to fix it. But that's not always going to get you fixed up with a door that's not latching. Sometimes what ends up happening, I've seen it happen in apartment buildings quite a bit, is one side of the door will be a point load in the whole structure, and that will end up shrinking. All of a sudden your door is off level and it's not latching. And this little trick is going to be golden. So the most common thing that I've seen people do with a situation like this is to move the strike plate. Now there's a couple of problems with that. Number one, it's going to be hard to move it just a tiny bit with the existing screw holes. Now you can drill those holes out, put some wood dowels in, or even fill them in with a golf tee. It's still kind of difficult to just move it down that tiny little bit. Or you can move it down like a wholesale 1/4 of an inch and make new screw holes. But now all of a sudden you have to chisel this out. You have to chisel out the strike plate down here to accommodate the move. And then you've got like a 1/4 inch gap of material that you have to fill and paint and sand. All right, enough with the chit chat. I'm going to show you the best way to fix this door. So what you're going to want to do is just get outside the door, slowly close it. You might be able to see where the door is kind of wearing, and that will let you know how much you have to grind off of the strike plate. Or you can just kind of line up the door, eyeball it, get an idea. You can always take more off, so don't get crazy right off the bat. Take a black marker, any kind of a marker, and just give yourself a little line to work with. Right here, I'm going to take off about just under a 1/16 of an inch. Now in order to grind this down, there's a number of different options that you can use. My favorite is the Dremel tool with a little carbide bit in it. So these little Dremel carbide bits are pretty expensive. They're 22 bucks Canadian. I'll put a link in the description for some knockoff Amazon versions. They're about 90% as good for about half the price. So you can do the math on that. And then if you don't have a Dremel tool, you can put one of those little carbide bits into a drill. The drill spins considerably slower than the Dremel tool, so it just takes longer, but it can still work pretty good. And if you don't have the carbide bit, you can even use kind of like a drill bit and just use that to grind out the metal. And then you also have just a standard file, which can work. It's going to take you forever to file this thing in place, so you'd probably want to take the strike blade out, take it down to the garage, clamp it, put it in a vise, and then go about it that way. But definitely the best tool for the job here is the Dremel tool with this little carbide blade in it. So throw on the glasses. That way you can stare right at what you're doing. You're going to get a better job, and hey, you're not going to end up with a chunk of metal in your eyes. So let's give that door a close and see how we're looking. The door is latching beautiful. The fix was successful. That's like a 2 or 3 minute fix. It's super easy. Grab yourself a marker, some kind of a way to file down the latch. And if you're having any other troubles with your doors, I've got the perfect playlist for you right up here.
And if you're still having trouble with your door and you're not able to fix it, reach out to me in the comments. I'll try to help you the best that I can. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're not subscribed, you may consider it.